Can you hear us?
Carl, can you hear us?
Is somebody out there? Is there anyone?
It's a zombie apocalypse.
Can they hear?
No one's
we don't know
responding yet. Maybe go back to pop locking.
He's just jealous.
Yeah, there's sound.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
They can hear us.
Okay.
We're on. We're live.
Yo, what's up?
Okay.
Still no sound.
No, she
now
said
I
yes.
can.
Okay, cool.
Now we're
There we
gone.
go. Now we're in business.
Hey, this dude.
He's got to do his dance again.
Okay, let's do it with sound.
Wait, no. No, this one.
Hey, which one am I? The fourth one?
The third one, I think. All right. Now let's start over. Here we are.
Yo.
There we go.
Yo.
So, you know what? You're going to get the intro one more time. All right.
Bow.
Let's get the
Hello.
comments back.
Yo,
Episode
yo, yo.
14.
This is episode 14. We are. Just find your channel. Is that the right one?
Yeah, we're good. Hey, I'm looking at this PBD live,
Yeah.
and the dude that's doing the sign language looks a little bit like Stephen Hawkins, mixed with like if Bill Gates and Stephen Hawkins had a child,
Oh, wow.
that would be him.
That's
So they were eating plant-based foods?
I mean, it's not plant when it's just fake.
Fake-based food?
Yeah,
no, it
fake-based
sounds good.
food.
Now we can hear it. So, I want to thank you guys just as a reminder and let you guys know that we do this every single Tuesday. We call it Let's Just Talk. And we try to go live at 4:30. And we talk about anything and everything through a biblical view, things of the world, things that are happening, whether it's elections, whether it's Puff Daddy, whether it's whatever it is, we're going to talk about it in a biblical fashion, in a biblical way, and just give that perspective, because a lot of times we see a lot of things that are happening in the world, but we don't get to hear anything biblical through it, you know. And but at the same time, you know, we're here relaxing, we're having a great time, and we get to conversate. Today's an important day, though.
Today is a very important day.
November 5th.
Yeah. Making history right now.
Yeah.
We're here.
So, for me, myself, I have never voted in person. So I didn't know what to expect. So I set my clock for 6 a.m.
Yeah.
because they opened at 7, you know, and it's 7 to 8. And I don't know if I'm going to be there hours. I had no idea. And there was only a few people ahead of us, but this is what was frustrating for me, is that you know how you're supposed to, the reason you go in person is to scan your ballot into the computer.
Yes.
You didn't know that?
No, yeah.
Yeah, there's a scanner that scans and you get a receipt back.
Okay.
So they couldn't get the scanner to work.
Uh-huh.
So they're like, yeah, just slip it in the box. I didn't like that. I'm like, I could have done that in the mail. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? What's the difference? And then Abraham, they couldn't find his number. They kept typing it in. He showed them. They're like, are you sure you're registered? And he goes, here's the book you guys that got sent to me. This is my code. And they couldn't find him. So he had to re-register and put it in that thing again. You know, Sharon did get a chance to, hers did go through the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was weird.
One of many.
Yeah, very fortunate for my wife and myself. We had no issues. We went in, we filled out whatever, and it's scanned with no problem. It took my son and my brother-in-law, maybe about an hour and a half ago. Again, no problems. So,
No, we did absentee ballot. We did.
oh, okay.
What is that?
Where they send it to you?
Okay. Well, I did have it in the mail,
Yeah.
but I didn't use that. They just printed me one.
Yeah.
So they pull out my receipt. It's this computer, and then they go and they actually print one. I guess that it has my code on it or something.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's how they would know if I would vote 5 times, I guess, because they literally print it out, and it prints it out with your little whatever ID they give you. And
So I will say this though. My brother-in-law, he went and voted, and he registered in the parking lot. Then went in there and voted. And the thing about it is he was like, "Hey man, they didn't even ask me for my ID. They didn't ask me for nothing." And I said, "Yeah, man, I don't agree on that." He's all, "That means people can go and vote however many times they want." And I said, "Yep." And I said, they're also doing that for, the illegals to be able to get in there and so on and so on and so on. And it's just horrible, man. I think that's very, very horrible.
Well, like we did absentee ballot.
Mm-hmm.
So all, my boys and us, it came to the house.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had stayed at my parents' house years ago.
Okay.
And my son gets another one sent to the house.
Oh.
And so I didn't do the Dem thing as far as in double up. We didn't do that, but there was more than one sent under that code to multiple addresses.
same code though.
Well, I would assume.
Yeah. So, I kind of realized that I never knew how it worked because I'm like, okay, so I'm not signing it. So how do they know I'm not redoing this over and over? But it made more sense because when I went in, they didn't ask for ID, but I showed them my booklet. And off that booklet that's to my name, it says my name, my polling place and everything. And there's a number there. So they type in that number, it pulls a receipt. And then I take that receipt to the guy that's by the printer, like a regular printer.
Mm-hmm.
He types something in the keypad, and then it prints a ballot with my number on that ballot. So technically, it's not just a bunch of ballots. Each one has your name. Some computer should flag.
Multiple.
If I had, because I had mine in the car, my absentee one. If I had sent that in and that one, it would probably flag us two with the same number.
Because what we did is we registered ours with the state, and they let you know when it's received, and then they let you know when it's counted towards, as far as it's scanned.
Yeah.
So for us, that was what we experienced.
Okay. Real quick before we get into any more, the people that are commenting, it's because they are members of this channel. I think it's $3.99 to be a monthly supporter of this channel, and it lets you comment when we go live every single Tuesday. But we do put these out publicly for anyone to watch. But as far as the live comments, it's because they are members, and we appreciate each and every one of you. There's not a whole lot of you that are members, but we appreciate those of you. Notice that they get that little cross. Can you see it? That's how you know they're members. So the longer they're on, it fills up. So it's an empty cross, and it puts like a little gold bar, and then a second, and then pretty soon it fills up. So people know how long they've been members when they see each other.
To know if they've made it to the cross fully.
Yeah, I think they're saved before that. But so we want to thank you. So, man, we were trying to figure out a little while ago, right? Who's doing the polls, like what's happening, which not even the polls anymore. We're talking about the actual, what
numbers.
are they called? The ballots, right? The ballot count.
The ballot count, yeah.
Empty Tomb, what's up, man? You made it again. Carl,
what's
Maria
up, Empty
Madrigal,
Tomb?
Lisa Duran,
Love right back.
all of you guys. All
Thank
of you.
you.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. He's the one in Boston.
This one,
South Boston.
this is saying like Philly has 10 more minutes, so they're closing over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
8
well,
o'clock.
you're three hours ahead. You know what I mean?
Snap.
Yeah, so I mean, over there. Hey, so like Empty Tomb, he's over there in Boston.
Yeah.
So they're closing up right now.
Wow. So the whole East Coast.
Yeah, pretty much, man. Yeah, that's how it works. That's how it works. That's how, like, I remember the Millennium. right? When we went into the 2000 and they were saying that we're going to explode, like we were at a fat, okay, so I'm not going to tell you where we were at, but anyways, I wasn't saved at that time. We'll just say that. And we were like, man, when this ball drops, bro, if New York goes up, I'm gone, man. I'm going to go say my byes to whoever I got to say my byes to.
All because the computer's clocks couldn't.
So,
He said he voted this morning
yeah.
in Boston. Okay. USA is having a gender reveal tomorrow. Remember 4 years ago when all of a sudden they shut down the count? And they're like, oh, yeah, we'll figure out in the morning. And all of a sudden, in the morning, everything was different.
I mean, bro, it
was
180.
like this, and it's like,
Trump. No, man, it was. We'll just. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I remember when I went to bed, Trump. We'll just say, out of 200, Trump was up by 100.
Yeah.
And then the next morning, I woke up like, okay, dude, Trump has to be the winner, right? And I think it was like 300 the demo and so it was just
weird.
like, what? Damn, you guys did a killer job fixing this.
Yeah.
Carl says, let's go. You think Trump will win PA?
Pennsylvania? I don't know where to look for anything.
Yeah. If you guys know where to go ahead and find the map, please let us know on the comments because I would love to go ahead and bring it up here. I'm looking all over the place and I can't find anything that will give me a map. I try to go on to TikTok, even them, they can't even let me know. So I'm going to try it again. So please help us out, man. We want to stay ahead of this during this podcast, at least while we're on here right now.
Also, you know what I want to do? I want to thank Justin.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Thank you,
Angel's
Justin.
son is learning to be an operator.
There you go.
So I don't have to keep clicking. If you see me do it, it's because he's just learning. But not only is he learning that, but we got a couple other things. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you what other thing we got. How many of you have heard of the squirrels going to vote?
I didn't hear
There
of
was
this.
a bunch. I have a picture of a bunch of squirrels heading over to the voting. Look, there it is right there. And they're all talking about peanut.
Hey, are those the 3,000 squirrels that America was giving them uniforms? Like Russia was doing for, was it North Korea? Did you hear about that?
But
No,
look at those
I
squirrels,
didn't.
man. They seem very determined.
There was 3,000 Russian soldiers that they were getting equipped and dressed, or Koreans to go into Ukraine. These are the American soldiers that are American squirrels getting prepared for battle.
I don't know what's going on. All right, we can go back to but seriously, man, I barely really looked into this peanut squirrel. I didn't really, I kept seeing things about it for the last few days.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until last night that I started really tripping out and looking at it. And that was
happened?
messed up.
Oh, you have the election map?
Oh, you got
found
it? All right, let's see.
Where do you have it at?
Is that
Is that one of the squirrels?
Trump 23?
Nah, that's all right. He's serious about his knocking. So what's it say there? Is there any way to expand it or no?
Yeah, you can click on this individual state.
Oh, what's Pennsylvania at? Or nothing's in yet, huh?
Yeah, no.
So what are we looking at with the other states? Is there any done yet or not yet?
They're all finishing up here.
They're all finishing up still, huh?
Yeah, and then
So
What's it
the
saying up
current,
there? What does it say? 3 and 23. What is that? It's too small.
Yeah, no, a bunch of states are done.
yeah, some states are already reporting.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Was it 270?
Yeah, whoever gets 270.
So Trump has 23, Kamala has 3.
Okay. I feel like I'm watching a football score. Interesting.
Okay. Thank you, Mijo.
All right. So, yeah, we have Justin here, my nephew, Angel's son, your second son.
Yep.
And he says, man, I'll learn to be an operator. It's kind of hard because there's a lot of moving pieces, but I think he's picking it up pretty quick.
Yeah.
What do we got here? Carl says Trump needs to win. Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, if he's going to win. Yeah.
Just got my Trump shirt on.
Where'd you get that?
I ordered it from Amazon.
Oh, did you?
Love it.
That's an iconic picture. That's going to be
Yeah.
remembered for
Oh yeah.
a
That
long time.
Did you guys see the six pack that I sent? How do I send that picture over? Where JD Vance?
I don't know. You'd have to send it to that email.
Okay, let me see.
What is it on? Is it a photo?
Yeah, it was a TikTok. I found it on TikTok. Can I,
don't
do
know.
that?
Will it play TikTok?
Hey Austin, I just
Try
seen your
send it
text.
to that email and see if he can send it.
Okay, hold
Guys,
on.
we're learning all kinds of stuff today.
Yep.
So, anyways, how's everybody doing? How's everybody going out there? We appreciate you. We do this every single Tuesday. Obviously, this is an interesting Tuesday because it's an election day. I hope you voted. I got my sticker. I don't know if you could tell, but it's on my hat right there, right next to the. Actually, can you show that up there? Let's see. Bam. Right by the land of the free. I voted. All right. So.
Well, you want to jump off on the squirrel?
Yeah, I do have a clip talking about it, but oh wait, before we show the clip, I didn't know this, and everybody, maybe the whole world knows except me, but basically this family, this couple had a habitat for rescue animals.
Yep.
300 animals?
I don't know how many, but I know they had horses.
I thought he said
and-
300.
Yeah, they had quite
a
a bit.
llama. They have horses. They had a baby raccoon. They had this squirrel that basically their whole operation got paid for by the Instagram of this squirrel or the social media, social platform. And this squirrel like did tricks and did all kinds of stuff. And basically they sent 10.
7 years they had the squirrel.
Yeah, for 7 years. And then they sent 10 cars. Was it 10 cars of government vehicles to go and basically handcuff these people and search their house for this terrorist squirrel, apparently. And they killed them. They
Yeah.
killed the squirrel
Because somebody said the squirrel bit them.
because somebody said.
Because somebody said the squirrel bit them, and for them to be tested for rabies, they needed to be killed.
That
which
doesn't make
makes
sense.
no sense.
That makes no sense. But I do have a short clip about it. Let me know when that clip's ready, and we can check this out real quick. We got Vance there talking about it.
North Carolina.
The same government that doesn't care about hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrant criminals coming into our country doesn't want us to have pets. It's the craziest thing.
New York Congressman
Yeah,
Nick
that's pretty
Van
much
Wert
it.
also chimed
So
in, calling
it
the
even got
state's
to the point where he's talking about it at a rally. Did you see that when he said that?
No, well, I seen him when he brought it up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put this up because the echo. I seen him when he brought it up, but I didn't. One of the things I had a question for, and I haven't got an answer. Was because the question was why did 4 government agencies get involved?
Makes no sense.
It makes no sense. And so somebody was asking, because I know Elon Musk said, they killed the MAGA squirrel.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and I didn't check their social media page how they were voting, what they were doing.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But they were an internet influencer based on what they were doing, and they were, and then like I know PBD this morning or yesterday was asking, "Where's PETA?
Yeah.
Why are you not responding? Why is everyone staying quiet?" In that. And the reality is, if they can do this, because I guess they said they arrested him.
Yeah.
They arrested him and put him off to the side.
For 5 hours.
Yeah, for 5 hours. And even when he had to go to the restroom,
Yeah.
he was being guided by federal agents for a squirrel.
What did they think he was going to do?
I don't know.
Let's say that they're smoking that Yesca.
Carl says government overreach.
right.
It's terrible. They killed the homie squirrel.
That's wild.
But it just doesn't make sense. What maybe it was random. Maybe it was all just an accident, or not an accident, but overreach.
I don't. Yeah, and I mean, it's messed up because first of all, think about it. I mean, yeah, it's a squirrel, and I know real quick would be like, dude, it's a squirrel, but I mean, really think of the implications of this, that government can come into your home. And somebody made a point that said, man, most New Yorkers have rats in their house.
Yeah.
You know, you don't go busting down. Matter of fact, those people with rats probably wish somebody would bust down and find those rats in the house. So this guy has a squirrel. He has acres. He's not.
Yeah.
It's not in an apartment building. He's not in a duplex. He's surrounded by acres of land with horses and everything. And somebody can come into your house and kill your pet. You know, I thought of this. Like, okay, I'm going to get a benefit of the doubt. I'm like, okay, let's say it is against the law to have a squirrel. Let's say somebody did get bit, whatever. So the best option is to kill it? Mm-hmm. Like, why couldn't they say, look, sir, you cannot have this animal. It's illegal to have this animal. So what we're going to do, because he has such a huge influence, is we're going to take him to the local zoo. That way, all the children in this community can enjoy this peanut.
Yeah.
But you kill him? That's the best option?
That's the part, but that's the part that don't make sense. I mean, it's just mind boggling because it's like I get it's a squirrel too,
Yeah.
and it's like wow, but but that's like going into your house and killing your dog.
Yeah.
And according to John Wick, that don't go very well in the story.
He said John Wick.
But
That'd be a cool one right here too.
that Carl put Trump's at 90, Kamala's at 27, so far as the count. Mm-hmm. But it just it was just such a random thing. But at the same time, like what you're saying, I know maybe people go, well, that's far reaching, dude. That's a squirrel.
Yeah.
But no, but what we're talking about is what he was saying as far as the overreach of the government. Mm-hmm. And it just doesn't make sense. You don't want a bigger government. You don't want that. And you want, like, how hard would it be to say, okay, this pet looks domesticated? How? Well, look at him. Can you just watch the squirrel for 5 minutes?
That squirrel's more domesticated than most pets.
Yeah, so than most people, possibly. Yeah. But it's just crazy.
Yeah.
Empty Tomb says GNA. What's GNA?
Gonna have a
RICO trial for trafficking squirrels, dude.
Wow. So what do you guys think? Those of you that are members, if you want to be able to comment, all you got to do is be a monthly subscriber for $3.99. And if you're like, man, I just want to comment right now, well, just join it and cancel it. But at least you can join in on this conversation.
This is saying right now, they just flipped it. It was saying 58% and 47% was going so far from what they've counted in certain states right now.
Percent as far as, account.
So, well, let me ask you.
But, everything is different. Like I said, I got it on the PBD, and I'm flipping through other things as well. Yeah. So
let me ask you guys, flipping from the squirrel, from the story of the squirrel, what did you guys think of the last 7 days of the difference between Jennifer Lopez's fake cry?
What'd you do?
Oh, nothing.
Oh,
or to just as far as like those that were, what's it called? Not sponsoring, but endorsing. Kamala and those that were endorsing Trump, and the difference between the type of people, as far as it's just night and day.
Yeah. I'd say the same thing. I noticed you got a lot of entertainers, and I don't know, honestly, I'm not sure if they hold influence. I maybe if I was a young kid, I don't know. I remember maybe if I was 16 and all of a sudden Eazy-E said, hey, vote this way, maybe that would have influenced me. But as a grown man.
But if you were 16, you couldn't vote.
Exactly. That's my point.
Yeah, but at 18, man, if Master P told me to vote for Kamala, I probably would have. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So I guess, but I know that they said this is that, hey, what's up, Gabriel Antariano? How you doing? They were saying that the least demographic to vote are young men between 21 and 26, I believe.
Why is that?
Don't know, but that's the least likely. So here's the thing, though, that's interesting is that is the most likely to be influenced by Elon, mm-hmm. by Joe Rogan, mm-hmm. by, you know what I mean? So
that's why I asked that.
I know myself, I know young men in our family that had no interest of voting at all whatsoever. And they're like, Dad, how do I register? Dad, how do I vote?
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa. And they're between that age. So just in my own immediate family, there's 2 boys that never cared about voting, and they were really concerned about voting. So I'm just like, wow, I saw something different. You know, because if those 2 voted, how many more times is that echoing throughout the nation? Mm-hmm. That's interesting to me.
Well, with just kind of that younger generation, but like you said, I don't know.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, kids grew up, like when Obama, let's use Obama 2008, or campaign in 2007 going to 2008. Mm-hmm. He used a lot of Nickelodeon.
Oh, did he? I was in prison, so I don't know.
Yeah. And I mean, Justin would remember, more, along that age bracket in 08, because he would have been watching that. But I remember seeing him on Nick at Night or different things, and, kids programs, MTV, all that stuff. But dude, how long ago was that? That was 15, 16 years ago. Doing that as far as with kids. And now it's like all these entertainers that are coming through. Like, I'm so disgusted with just the athletes, LeBron, Steph, and I know we talked about this last week. Like, I'm a Steph Curry fan, dude. As far as basketball, just watching him play, here in Golden State, here being in the Bay Area, and all that stuff. But at the same time, it's like, dude, just the positions that you hold are so disconnected. Like, his sister was going on. Deanna showed me some videos of her going on this ordeal, talking about Trump's going to ban what's
everything.
What's it called as far as when the women are having a hard time having kids?
Oh, yeah. This is like 3 letters. I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, and she was Trump's going to ban
I don't remember.
IVF.
IVF.
IVF. And in 30 seconds, just from me typing and looking, boom, here's the video of Trump sitting down with Tulsi Gabbard going, hopefully, that the government either will cover that cost for families that want to have children, or maybe we can encourage the providers to encourage, to have that in their, far as in their provisions, for them, because America, we need to start having kids again. And it's like, either, I don't know how much they're paying you to lie.
That's weird, right?
Or
You just don't know.
You just don't know. Mm-hmm. And that's when I, just kind of sitting on, just kind of thinking about it, was like, I watch the other side. I don't think they watch us.
Thank you for that super chat, Diana.
Hey, babe.
Thank you.
Are you picking up on girls on this thing or what?
Yeah. Picking up on it for 27 years. And it was like, they're either they're bold-faced lying, or they've been given talking points, and the other side is not doing any research.
Yeah.
Just to, other than just what they're hearing on TikTok.
Well, I just heard Nancy Pelosi just today or yesterday. She's like this, like, I don't think if he wins, he can last the 4 years. He is cognitively not going to make it. And I'm like, you're going to cognitively not make it to tonight. Like, what are you talking about? And I'm just like, are you serious?
I would love to be a fly on Obama's wall tonight.
I don't know.
Never.
Look at this.
Never.
Just tonight.
No way, dude.
Look, Empty Tomb said this was his first year of ever voting.
Wow.
And he's 38. See, that's my point. That is people are voting that have never voted before, and that's...
Well, okay, you guys have unloaded a lot. The one thing I know nothing about is I didn't pay attention to, because I thought it was absolutely ridiculous, was the squirrel thing. The other thing that I'm absolutely not going to pay attention to, man, that I thought was even more ridiculous than the squirrel thing, was J-Lo.
Her fake cry?
Yeah, I looked at it like, yo.
She cried better on Selena.
And I was just about to say, like, man, dude, like, you did a horrible job in Selena, and it was just whatever it is. You talked about the 21 through 26. Again, we've mentioned many times the lack of fathers in a home. I think that plays a big part in the 21 through 26 voting. I do know that my children... I have a 17-year-old that if he would have been able to vote, he would have. And my 20-year-old son Like I said, he was a little upset that he didn't get to go, or that he didn't go with his mom and myself early, because we went at like, I think I sent you guys the picture at like 8:30 or something like that in the morning. We got it taken care of. We weren't waiting. I got my my 52-year-old brother-in-law who went through and stuff like that. But we're talking about the 21. And exactly what Empty Tomb said up here is most younger people I talk to don't think it matters, and that's the problem. They don't think it matters. But you know, one of the things that Officer Tatum said, which I really liked, was that he said they don't have to know what we talked about as far as policies, as far as abortion, as far as all these things that matter to us, okay? They don't need to understand that. What they're looking at is, in their lifetime, they are looking at it between Trump and Biden. They're seeing money was better in my pocket than with Trump than it is with Biden. That alone is like, yo, I don't like being broke.
And who's this?
I'm saying, like, that's what Officer Tatum was saying about this younger crowd coming up, the 21 through 26. Yeah. So some of them were old enough and saw, you know, they might have not voted for Trump, but they got to see that money fill up in their pocket.
That's interesting that you bring that up, because this is what one of my sons said. Because he had just turned 18 4 years ago. And he's like, I ain't voting. That's dumb, Dad. For what? This, you know, one of my sons.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Just turned 18. He had a chance to vote. He could have cared less. But now today, he goes, Dad, I'm going to go vote. He goes, because I'm sick and tired of paying this much for food and this much for gas.
Yeah. See?
And that's all that mattered to him.
And you can't knock him for it.
No.
Right? I mean, look at and think back at 20 years old. I mean, were you behind? Were you locked down at 20?
No.
Okay, so then did you care when you were at 21 through 24 years old?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I didn't pay attention.
Yeah, me neither, man. I was just like, oh, I vote Democrat because if I did vote, that's what I would vote.
I didn't vote anything. I didn't care.
First time I voted was in 08.
Well, I think I voted for Clinton. I think I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just, because I didn't know any better. I fell into that unknowing statistic. This is what I grew up in. This is not whatever.
Vote.
So I understand what they're thinking, but like my 20-year-old, I'm like, yo, man, you see the difference? Look at what's going on here. He came down, you know, because of social media and seeing all these different things. Yo, Pop, what is this? Well, this is what they're wanting to do. This is why they're wanting to do it. These are the people that are involved in it, and blah, 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 blah. Then the other thing that you talked about was look at the difference of promotion. I heard one guy, I heard a few people say this, but if they were on the Diddy invitation list, do you really want to vote for the person that is also on that invitation list? And you're talking LeBron. Oh, LeBron is somebody like, I don't like him as a basketball player, right? I can't stand, and I don't even know, dude. I can't stand him even more as a human being. When you're over there talking this and talking that, defund the cops and doing this and do everything I am against, he is for. And he has a voice for little kids coming up, teenagers, 20-year-olds, and he is all for this. I mean, I look at it as when you sell the soul, that means everything. And so the thing about it is, and same thing with like Cap. He was all for Cap. He was all like I said, everything I'm against, he is for. And it doesn't surprise me. When you see people like Beyonce or you see people like Taylor Swift, I mean,
they really understand America, you know, the middle class America.
Well, I saw a video that was like, yeah, I really want Taylor Swift to tell me what to do when she doesn't even know what a first down is.
I saw this guy was asking people, random people, who they voted for and why. And this one gentleman, he says, you know, I voted for Kamala. And he goes, can I ask you why? And he goes, I got two little girls, two daughters, and I just had to vote for Kamala because she cares about the women. And then he's choked up. And I'm like, so you're crying because you want your kids to have sex and be able to get abortions to kill off your legacy.
Yeah.
Thank you for that super chat.
Thank you.
Empty too.
You know, so I'm just like, like your girls are little, like you're already thinking that they're going to kill off your legacy so they can go out to college and just have all kinds of fun and just keep killing off your legacy, and you got emotional over that? You know, and again, this is a biblical podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus says they're the blind leading the blind. It is insane. How I'm like, that is crazy. Because and they'll be, and here's the thing, they'll get to that 1%. Well, what if she gets raped? What if she's gonna die? And this is this. No, 99 point whatever percent is because you're teaching your daughters to go and have fun and do whatever it is that they want, and just kill the baby off. You know, and I'm just like,
He's not talking. I think we've said this, and again, it's all God, right? God brings life, God takes life. You know the saying whenever we were coming up? I mean, Bill Cosby said it himself, right? I brought you in this world, I'll take you out. You know what I mean? Like, the only one who can do that is God, right? And you know what? All decisions, we don't understand that. Death, we don't understand. And I think the reason why we don't understand it is because we've never done it. The other thing is, too, is he's not talking about that kind of abortion. He's not talking about when it comes mother or child. That's a decision that the family makes. He's not stopping that.
Did you see the John Legend?
Again?
Sit down with
No way, bro. I would never watch that.
Club Shay Shay?
Oh, my God. Grown man. Hey, dude. Hey, Shannon Sharp, man. Just like everybody else is telling you. You got some problems, bro, calling yourself Shay Shay. But no, I would never watch that. Another man, I will.
But you didn't see the clip at all?
No.
Okay.
Isabel, thank you. It's good to have you in here. She says facts. Empty Tomb, thank you also.
Thank you,
Keep that
guys.
Wi-Fi rocking. You know, actually, we're gonna get a faster Wi-Fi on the 15th. What's today?
Woohoo! The
So
5th.
10 days. This was crazy. Our upload speed right now at the max is 50 was it megabytes, whatever, per second. It's gonna be at 1,000. So our everything's going to be quicker, a
Nice.
lot better, a lot smoother. Anyways, yeah, I didn't see that clip.
Okay.
John Legend, the singer?
Yeah, John Legend, the singer.
He's talking about it.
John Legend, the singer, goes on. Bruce Lawn did a piece on it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
And so what John Legend basically was saying that because his wife, I guess, you know, and this is, you know, it's sad. I guess the baby died in the womb of his wife.
Who?
John Legend.
Okay.
She was pregnant and she had a miscarriage.
Yeah.
And they had to remove the baby.
Yeah, that's horrible.
It is. That's you know, that's not to, you know, laugh or anything. I mean, that's a real situation.
Yeah.
That's a real thing. But he used that situation and said, Shannon, if Trump is in office,
Yeah.
that would have been illegal and my wife could have died.
What would have been illegal?
Oh, my God.
Removing the dead baby.
He knows what he's saying.
Of course he does.
Hold on. But this is what he's saying on Club Chat, and they're just like, oh man, you're right, you know, and all this stuff. And, yeah, but technically they're right. Yeah. This is what I learned in my research as far as watching videos. That is technically on paper. It's called an abortion. There's actually been a big ordeal in the medical field that they have been trying to remove that. It's not touched.
Yeah.
Because it is the baby is being removed from the mother. So it is an aborted process. And so technically speaking, it is an abortion. So he did this. Doctors started commenting.
Yeah.
And said, John, you're lying. And you know that. Like real doctors, like on the chat, dude, I'm a doctor, MD, from so-and-so, you know, this and that. And he said, there is no country in the world that has banned abortion that would ever not remove the baby from the mother in that situation.
Who's going to do that?
That is illegal. Nobody would do that.
There's a word for that. It's a miscarry. It's a stillborn. There's a bunch of words for that.
But in the medical field, it is an abortion. So because it's in that term, he's trying to just gaslight
Yeah.
Using that, and it's like,
Use the voice.
dude, you're lying.
Using the voice.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, you're lying, and unfortunately, why you're using such a terrible moment in your, as far as in your life, and unfortunately, that's a baby.
Yeah.
Whether I like him or not as a person or her as a person, it's irrelevant, dude. That's a child. Yeah. But you're using that, and it's like, dude, that's just so ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. But technically, it's under the category of an abortion.
Yeah.
But the reality is, we're talking the 2%.
Yeah.
Less than that, in my opinion.
I think it's less. I think it is. I use 2% just to round up, and that's probably.
I think it's closer. Oh, anyways,
Yeah.
go ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, but just we're talking about the 2%. They're talking about the 2% blending it with the 98. And that's that issue going back and forth, because think about it, even when J.D. Vance was talking to Rogan, and Rogan is pro-choice.
Yeah.
And at the very end, he got him. He said, here, and he broke down these numbers to him. And he said, Rogan, Joe, would you admit that the misuse of the 98%, that it's a misuse, a gross misuse, unhealthy? And Rogan got quiet and he goes, yeah, I would. See, so the 2%,
Dang, already?
we can have a conversation. Yeah. That's fine. That because if we could at least get to the 2%,
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's perfect, but that's a whole lot better
Yeah.
than what we're looking at right now.
What are the numbers right now? Anybody know?
Justin, you want to put up that? Let's check the polls.
Let's check the polls real quick before I bring up this next subject real quick.
refresh it.
What was I going to say, though? Darn it.
95 to 35.
Yeah,
No,
that's
it has
what.
to-
If anybody
Abraham
has a
is sending
different
you
number,
things. Abraham is sending you things too to check your phone.
if anybody is any other different numbers than that,
No, that's what I got also. That's the
95.
last thing that.
Oh, yeah. He got
Abraham.
to 35 to 95 right
Yeah.
now. Abraham just sent that to me.
So, the other thing is too is they want to blame Trump for this, right?
For what?
For abortions, taking away, quote unquote, taking away abortions, right? You want to blame Trump, okay? Well, the Roe versus Wade, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that got reversed.
I was like,
during,
RICO Act. That's it.
yeah, that got reversed under who? Under Biden. And the other thing is if you want to blame somebody, blame your governor, because they're the ones who have the choice. That's who you blame. So all I'm saying is, like, I'm not for it. I understand what an abortion is. See, like my wife and myself say is you want to go ahead and fornicate. I've said this before on here too. You want to go ahead and do one of the worst sins, period, where the Bible says fornicators will not inherit the kingdom of heaven. You want to go ahead and do that, deliberately sin against God, and then have no consequences. You want to go ahead and do something, and then the consequence you can get for it, if you get pregnant, you want to terminate that consequence.
What's the thing you said that nobody who pays the penalty? Or what'd you say?
We
You said
pay
it last week.
Oh no! Oh, like when a woman gets raped.
Just in an abortion. I forgot how you said it. But
We said, well, like let's say the perpetrator gets incarcerated for 3 years.
the rapist.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The woman, has to deal with psychological. Yeah, but she aborts the child. But it's the child that gets the most punishment. The child gets corporal punishment.
Execution.
execution.
Death by execution.
Right. Yeah. So the thing about it is, all I'm saying is I don't agree with abortion, not even a little bit, okay? Nothing, zero. But I will say this. If you're going to blame somebody, at least have the intelligence to know who you're blaming.
Yeah.
That's my only thing.
Carl, what is NBC showing? It's showing something different. I'm just curious to see if it's a little bit off or way different. Carl says he got 27 to 99.
Yeah, see, it's hard, man, to follow all these people. What's going on?
It is hard.
Because you don't know where to go. So I think I'm going to just stay with that 95. That's probably the best thing that we got right there.
So I got something, a different subject that'll take us away for a little bit from the election.
All this? Mm-hmm.
And
Can I?
yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to throw this in.
Yeah.
Just government reach as
Yeah,
far as we're
99
talking
to
about all this
26.
stuff.
Go for it.
Real fast.
Yeah.
I just looked up in 1950. Yeah, I know this is going to sound.
Yeah, 27 to 99 on NBC.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying too.
In 1950, 2.5% of births were C-sections.
Say it again.
In 1950,
Okay.
2.5% of all births in America
Wow. So out of every 100,
were C-sections.
2 to 3.
You know what it is right now?
Huh.
1 out of 3.
Why?
That's a great question. The reason why I bring that up is we're talking about abortion. We're talking about industry. We're talking about big pharma.
Yeah.
We're talking about all these policies and everything else and all this stuff. And you start digging down to some of this stuff, man, and you will find, it is like even with your newest grandbaby. When I talked to Rigo and he told me the story, how he was getting mad, how they were talking to Leanna.
I don't know.
Okay.
They wouldn't tell me.
Okay.
They
Well,
haven't told me.
okay. Well, this is nothing. I mean, nothing private or detailed, but just kind of. He got upset with the doctors because she's having medication, she's having a baby, dude. All this stuff. Well, the doctors are trying to tell her to sign off on the C-sections. Dude, she's not cognizant of it, and he got involved and got mad. I was like, dude, I'm the husband, I'm the dad. Come to me.
Yeah.
Talk to me about this. And then so he got involved, and I'm glad that he did.
Yeah.
Just to at least, dude, if somebody's going to make a decision, let's be rational in this
Yeah.
situation. But the only reason why I bring up that point is I think it all goes back to it has nothing to do with the fact that they care. Oh, I care about the victim. I care about this and that. It has to do with the industry of big pharma.
Yeah.
We are two
Absolutely.
nations in the world that promote commercials of medicine.
Kind of playing the other side, though, I got to say this. Women were a lot healthier in the 50s, and I think more women died at childbirth than now. So I'm sure
No.
that plays into it. No?
No.
Women died in childbirth. That's
Yes. America right now
Yeah.
is I don't know if it's the number 1 or the top 5 worst baby deaths in the world in first world countries.
No, I'm talking about the mother dying.
No, I know.
Okay.
Because of all of those things.
Yeah.
Remember we went through a different route with Ezra
Oh, yeah, that's right.
because of all of that, and that's where like you have
AKA
RFK.
Bam Bam.
Yeah, our RFK coming in, and these are the numbers that he's portraying. These are the stuff that he's talking about. With this election, with what's going on, and a lot of people are just like, okay, I don't like Trump. Okay, look at the cabinet. Look at this is why I brought up who's promoting who. Okay, J-Lo. Okay, what's LeBron gonna do? See, she got people that have no influence moving forward. How is Oprah gonna influence the cabinet? How is LeBron gonna influence her cabinet?
Yeah.
How is J-Lo gonna Beyonce, all these individuals, how are they gonna influence her cabinet if she's elected?
They're not.
They're not. Who did Trump get?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, Tulsi Gabbard.
I see where you're going.
RFK.
People that can
Vivek.
actually are movers and shakers within government, because coming and performing a song like what's her name that just performed yesterday? That she had to read off a phone because she didn't know how to talk. Cardi B, did you see that?
Oh
Yeah.
no, I didn't see. I heard about it.
I saw a
what's
bit
that
of
thing
it.
called that they read? What is it? Teleprompter. And she's just like, she looked like a deer in headlights. And she's like, give me my phone. And then she just like it wasn't even a lab like something intelligent. It was just like E.T. says phone home C-A-T cat. It might as well have been that. It was just ridiculous. So you're right.
Yeah, but and this is where RFK brought up. He says more people in America are having less kids because they're saying it's more expensive.
Yeah.
What is more expensive? I understand as far as food and groceries, all those things. Yeah, that's true. But because when a child is born, as far as with medicals and bills and everything else, these things that are getting tacked on through pharma, through the birth process, then these bills that are being astronomical because of these things that they're adding more and more.
Yeah.
And it's just like, dude, there has to come a point in time where, like with the squirrel, big government
A squirrel.
isn't helping anything. It's hurting.
Yeah.
And so then you got all these other tentacles laying in, and it's not a healthy situation. And if I don't remember, someone quote me if I'm, maybe look it up. I want to say America's one of the top 5. I think it was rated number 1 as the worst in baby deaths in all developed countries.
Oh,
Baby deaths. Yeah. So, but I'm curious to know the difference of mothers that died, let's say 75 years ago, compared to the prevention of mothers dying now. That's what I'm curious about.
Oh, I don't know.
Is it because there is more C-sections? Is it because of that? I don't know.
Well, if you watch C-section documentaries from doctors, they said no. They said there is need of it.
Yeah.
So it's not that there's not a need of it.
Of a C-section. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Remember when
absolutely.
Leanna was born?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, there's need. Absolutely. What they're saying is the
Absolutely.
push
Yeah.
that they have pushed for through, like everything else.
Yeah.
It's pharma.
Yeah.
It's a bigger bill. It's insurance.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
So what? Let's see. What do we got here?
You know, right here, it says that on Fox News, it says 111-72 Trump. It also said that Connecticut, that she won.
Put that thing back up, Neil.
What was it?
Is that refreshed?
101.52.
101 to 52, and you're getting way different than that.
This is showing, Fox is showing 111-72. And NBC, let me get in here real quick. And NBC is showing 105-30.
105. Who says that?
NBC?
Trump's up 105 to 30.
Yeah, 105-30.
To 30.
Yep. And so I just told you Fox says
But
111-72, and then
I'm just curious how
he's
NBC
showing
plays
us-
that, because
see, look at Empty Tomb says 101.
He's got 101 to 52.
I'm just curious because does that like kind of reverse and get people to give up, or are they putting low numbers for Kamala so people freak out and they go vote before the?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, actually, half the country's done.
I was gonna say, you got to understand that this
All the way up
side
to
of
Texas.
the right side of the mat, right?
Yeah.
Texas has got
they're
20.
done.
Texas got 23 minutes.
Yeah.
All the Midwest has
So the
23
East
minutes.
How many
Coast.
electoral votes do they have there, Justin, in Texas? What's the number say in Texas?
East
little
Coast
number
is
there?
done, so they're getting all.
Trending red.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, but what number? Does it show a number? Oh no, it just doesn't. Never mind. Sorry. I thought it
What does that
was
say
a number,
down there?
but it's not. It just says Texas, huh?
The fact that it's even close is crazy. Yes, I agree with you, Empty Tomb.
Can we open up the chat a little bit wider? Because it's like it's cutting.
See how
out.
it's cut
let's pray
on the right?
this-
Oh, there it is.
Right there, Mijo.
Bam.
Let's pray this administration can stay alive. Yep, I agree with you, Empty
Okay,
Tomb.
let's get back.
But yeah, man, it's just crooked, and it's gonna be that way. And you know what, man, that's where, I mean, men like us, and there's a lot of men out there and women out there that it's all God, man. We have to. I know David has said before, like, we can't move surprised.
Those of you right now on the West Coast, if you have not voted, you can literally go and register to vote right now.
Right
you
now.
can't
Online.
They won't let you vote for the local government, but you can vote for president right now. You still got, what's that?
2 hours and 22 minutes.
2 hours and 22 minutes.
I have a question. Why do you say that?
What do I say? What?
About that they won't let you vote for? Do you mean like John Dwordy and
I don't know.
the locals?
I'm just know like Sister Raven registered, and it says you cannot vote the local because you registered, because California has a deadline for
I understand.
registering. That's why.
Oh, okay.
But you can vote president, the federal stuff.
Well, like I said, my brother-in-law he registered in the parking lot and he voted for everything.
Really?
So I don't know.
When you go
That's why I
online,
asked.
and then I helped my son register, and it said the same exact thing. That Sister Raven, she read it to me and Sharon, and it basically said because you have already surpassed the deadline for California, you can't vote for California stuff, but you can still vote, I think, for the federal.
Did I tell you what happened to someone from our church?
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah,
Tell them.
Yeah, we had someone we were at.
Oh, wrong guy.
Hey.
My wife was helping some register to vote last week. And so they registered as a Republican. They were denied. They were actually denied. They got an email back from the state.
That's not allowed
That said it was
in California.
that it was too late. And they were denied. So I said, well, go back in there and go independent.
There you
Crazy.
I'll say. So I do have another subject I want to talk about before we get back. We're already
go. Yeah, man, we're almost
an hour
done.
and 15 minutes in.
Yeah.
So I do have this thing I want to talk about. I want to show a clip, but first of all, I want to set the stage for that clip. It's going to be the AI one. So did you guys hear that? I think in the UK, there's a lack of preachers in that place, in that city, that town, vicinity, whatever, county, I don't know what it is. There's a lack of preachers. They have a church. So they have a screen where the pulpit is. They have a GP, what's a chat called?
Chat GBT,
Chat GPT.
which Justin just turned me on to it recently.
Yeah, so basically they gave it a subject to talk about. They gave it I guess it's a woman to it looks like a real person. And this person preaches. It's a fake person preaching.
Yeah.
And the church is filling up. And it's the weirdest thing. So if you put your headphones on, you can actually hear.
Yeah, that's the one I told you.
Yeah, this is crazy.
AI.
Watch, check it out.
Composition for the song, and also
Full
AI
screen it?
to sort of synthesize Justin Bieber's voice, vocal style, and the person, of course, have some musical prowess.
Oh,
Very
this
skilled, of
one's
course,
at
and they were able to
8
bring all
minutes
this
and
together
52?
with instrumental and all these things and produce this song. Look, I was flabbergasted when I saw this.
Society and now part of the congregation. As Germany's churches experience a drop in numbers of pastors, this church in the Bavarian town of Fürth has the answer by using artificial intelligence. During service, this avatar preached to more than 300 people for Mass. But can we really commune with robots?
I was pleasantly surprised at how well it worked, but one thing I definitely missed, of course, was simply emotionality.
It was exciting, interesting, but for me it was too monotonous. The avatar spoke too quickly. Sometimes you couldn't really think in your head during the service. It wasn't personal enough.
So, in this church, worshippers are no longer inspired by the words of a preacher. And while some may say this is sacrilegious, the theologian behind it insists this is the future of worship.
I would say 98% comes from the machine, generally speaking. And what we're going to see is an effort of us as human beings staying out of the church service.
This is crazy.
The 40-minute
All right, you can
service saw
stop
the
it.
bot writing the sermon, prayers, and even...
Yeah, I remember we brought up. Yeah, that's the AI.
That's insane. I mean, this, you know what it makes me think of in the book of Revelation, where it says that the beast, the image became alive and it spoke boastful things. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I should have had that verse. Actually, I could find it, but what does it make? What do you think about that, brother Tino?
You know, when you sent that, I put it on, and I thought about how if you don't read your word, it says in Revelations that we will be deceived, even those of great or something. I'm paraphrasing.
Even the elect.
Yeah, even the elect. There you go. Will be fooled, right? And you know, I've always in my okay, so I'm gonna just say because that's what I do. I've always looked at it like the Antichrist here on land is going to be the Pope. I've said that for years, right? Because the Pope can go everywhere at all times and everybody worships and praises the Pope, right? So anyways, that's been my thing, my opinion. There's no biblical on that. That's Tino's opinion. But never once did I think that it could be a robot and be deceived in that. So if you don't know any better, right, and you don't read your word and you don't study your word and learn it, and you go into that church and that word is AI processed, and they're writing the sermons for that robot that's on the screen and doing all of that stuff, and it wants to come up with whatever it wants to come up with because it's AI generated, right? I mean, you're not going to know any better, and you're going to start moving in the way of what this is teaching, because how many humans, you two men as pastors, have you met that when you say a passage from the pulpit, that's the only word that they put into their heart all week until the following Sunday?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and you guys study your word, you read your word, but what if this AI, this is what I'm thinking as I'm listening to this that day that you sent it.
Yeah.
And what about this AI? They want to go ahead and it says, do not add or subtract, I believe that the Bible says, right? And what if they start doing all of that kind of stuff and manipulating the word? I mean, look at what they do human form with the Jehovah Witness Bible, with the Mormon Bible, with this Bible, with this Bible. You know what I'm saying? That's a human. Look at the AI. And so that's what I was thinking.
Now, were you going to say something? Because I have some scripture I wanted to read.
Go ahead.
So this is what I'm talking about right here. So for me, I remember growing up thinking the Catholic Church is the Antichrist. I don't believe that now. Do I believe the spirit behind Rome has something to do with it? Yes, I do. I don't believe it's actually the Antichrist. The Antichrist is going to deceive Israel. Israel, Jewish people are never going to follow a pope. They're going to follow somebody Jewish because they believe that's who the Messiah is.
Okay.
They would never worship anyone as a Messiah unless it was a fellow Jew. That's my belief, but I do believe somehow there's something there.
Okay.
But I will say this, as far as the AI, I never thought of this before AI, but in Revelation chapter 13, let's go to verse 5. And the beast was given a mouth, uttering haughty and blasphemous words, and it was allowed to exercise authority for 42 months. It opens its mouth to utter blasphemies against God, blaspheming his name and his dwelling, that is, those who dwell in heaven. I'm getting to the point here. Also, it was allowed to make war on the saints and to conquer them. And authority was given it over every tribe and people and language and nation. And all who dwell on earth will worship it. All who dwell will worship it. Everyone whose name has not been written before the foundation of the Lamb. Now, I'm going to keep going a little more. Check this out. If we go down to verse 11. Then I saw another beast rising out of the earth. It had two horns like a lamb, and it spoke like a dragon. It exercises all the authority of the first beast in its presence, and makes the earth and its inhabitants worship the first beast whose mortal wound was healed. It performs great signs, even making fire come down from heaven to earth in front of the people. Okay, wait, where's it at? Yeah, verse 14. And by the signs that it is allowed to work in the presence of the beast, it deceives those who dwell on earth, telling them to make an image for the beast that was wounded by the sword and yet lived. And it was allowed to give breath to the image of the beast, so that the image of the beast might even speak. Let's read 15 again. And it was I'm not saying I'm not a Revelation person that studies this, but it's interesting. Once I learned about AI, it was allowed to give breath to the image of the beast, so that the image of the beast might even speak and might cause those who would not worship the image of the beast to be slain. You know, again, I'm not a guy that's like heavily into the book of Revelation, because there's so much symbolism, so much imagery. There's a lot of things that happened already, and I'm not saying it can't happen again, but there's a lot of things that that happened. If you know church history, or if you know the history of Israel or the Roman Empire history, there's a lot of things. But I thought that part was interesting, that that it gave breath to it and it started to speak. Yeah. That was my point.
No, I think there's a lot of validity. Thank you, Sister Lisa.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll remind you guys that just one of the things in our counseling classes that they're talking about with AI, which is not just sermons and all of that, but they're talking counselors that are pure AI, and then like psychotherapists, psychologists, all that thing. But they were also talking about instituting it for suicide hotlines.
Yeah.
And using that
For AI?
Talk
somebody out of
using AI to talk to people that are calling in on suicide hotlines.
Wow.
So a real person doesn't have to, or it can supplement, all those types of things. And it doesn't surprise me, with all of that, especially going on in London and in Europe.
Yeah.
With all that, but it's just. We live in such a crazy time that we have to be careful. We've got to be in the Word. We've got to, use discernment and be able to just, acknowledge and, just the differences. And at the same time, I think the enemy has had us denominationally fighting for so long that we have looked internally for so long and lost track of what was happening around us. And that's obvious because look at this country.
What do you mean fighting internally?
Denominations.
Oh, denominations within themselves.
Exactly. The Christian community in and of ourselves not getting along with because of, you don't like this point and I don't like this point. So, we can't fellowship.
Yeah.
And so we have looked internal for so long that our necks got stiff.
Yeah.
And, when I look at America, we can get mad at the world. We can get mad at politicians. We can get mad at the Democrats. We can get mad at Republicans and everything else, but ultimately it has been the fabric of the church that hasn't done its job, across the board, and we've allowed so many things. And when I say us, it's not just our generation.
Yeah.
Because think about it, we're talking about in the 1980s, passing gay marriage in the 1980s in California, and I remember hearing sermons, in the 80s going, man, if we, guys, you younger generation, do you understand what's coming down the pipe?
Yeah.
Come on, dude, that ain't ever gonna happen.
Yeah.
Here we are. Here we are. I'm going through PragerU, and they're showing, and PragerU shows a video, in against, but it showed a little boy, I think he was 9 years old, on a catwalk as a trans.
I probably saw that. When was that?
It was like the other day.
Oh no,
or at least maybe within
I've seen videos
within
like
a week.
That. Like I don't know if it was Officer Tatum that showed that. Maybe I'm not sure.
Maybe it might have been the same one.
Yeah.
But a trans boy on a catwalk dancing provocatively because he's trans.
Yeah.
No, dude, you're a kid.
Yeah.
And it's just like I can't believe we got here, but we're here. And even with even when you're talking about London, have you guys heard about the law that's going into effect? I know it's Wales. I don't remember what other European nation. I know, I don't remember, but there's one. It's already passed. I think London.
Yeah.
Or England.
He said parents should be in jail.
Yeah, they should.
Just my opinion.
They should be. But that they passed a law that you can't even within 200 meters or maybe 2,000 meters of an abortion clinic or a hospital, that you can't even pray silent.
Huh?
Anything that is going to veer someone away from having an abortion,
really,
it is against the law. So who's the guy from
where is this at?
In London? Who's the guy from the Daily Wire? Knowles.
There's a few guys on there.
But no, his last name is
Walsh.
Knowles.
Matt Walsh. Dang it.
Well,
I'll tell you.
Look up his name.
Yeah.
He did a piece on it.
Yeah.
So I sent that video to our friend Coral, who lives in London.
Oh, that's right. He moved over there.
So I sent him that clip. I said, bro, this got to be an exaggeration. This cannot be true. Right? And he texted me back. He said, dude, I met the woman. Michael knows. He said, nah, bro, it's a law. So if you have a prayer meeting within that jurisdiction, the government has the right to enter into your home and arrest you. There was a woman, and Coral met her and talked to her. She was across the street from an abortion clinic, from a Planned Parenthood.
Oh, yeah.
She was crying, praying silently because of so many people that were walking in. She had no sign. She was weeping silently across the street. She was arrested because you cannot pray in silent against to veer someone away from having an abortion.
That's insane.
And so if you live within that parameter, a private meeting, the clothes you wear, prayer meeting, Bible study, all of those things that could be considered, to steer away from,
Yeah.
that's against the law.
Gabriel Interiano says, sounds like COVID. How just the basically the martial law.
Yeah.
And technically, it almost was. Martial law is soldiers and stuff. But I mean, wow. When you study the history of the Jew in Poland and in Germany during Hitler, it didn't start off from one day to the next. They weren't thrown into ovens the next day. It started very subtle. Very, very subtle. At first it was just kind of turning people against them. Then it was you got to wear the armband, and then you couldn't walk on the sidewalks, and then you had your business taken from you. I mean, it just little by little by little, the hands gripped the neck until they were choked out. And it's the same way.
That's like like a frog, right? You've heard that about the frog, right? You throw a frog into boiling water, he's going to jump right out. But if you throw the frog in there and then you turn on the whatever and just let it start to boil, it's too late for him. You know what I mean?
He'll stay until he dies.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. That's the difference, and that's unfortunate, man. It really, really is.
Can we check the election, see if there's any numbers different?
Justin, did that TikTok come through?
He'll check it right now. Let's see the 71.
Is that
to
refreshed?
101.
That's the same.
No, that's refreshed.
Okay.
71 to 101.
Okay,
So that's a lot of the East Coast. You said, when does Texas finish? But they still got to count, right?
Texas closes their polls in 4 minutes.
But they still got to count. It's not like it's going to show the count. Right?
See, but like that right there, that's already too close. That's already fishy to me.
Yeah.
It really is, man. Like, I'm sorry, dude. There is way too much she hasn't done and hasn't said anything for it to be that close. No way. Don't believe it.
Okay.
Just me. Did that TikTok come through? I sent it to the email.
Yeah.
Is there any way that we can get that up?
As we're waiting for that clip.
You got to see it, though,
What
man.
is this?
Oh, here we go. Check this out. This is great. You got to listen.
All right.
This is a six-pack under the leadership of Kamala Harris. This is a six-pack under the leadership of Donald J. Trump. Let's make America great again.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. Look at the six pack.
That is funny.
I said, my goodness, man. I just, it looks like we're closing up, man. So, I just said what I said right now. To me, it already looks fishy. Pray.
The thing is this.
That's
right?
all we.
I'm not surprised because remember, they basically said, we kind of already know which states are going to be red. We know which states are going to be blue. It's about those swing states.
It's about those swing states, and I get it.
So we already knew. And it's looking kind of exactly the way they said. There's going to be a lot of red. There's going to be some blue on top. There's going to be a few sprinkled here and there. In California, which has the most, what are they called?
Electoral votes.
Electoral votes. You know what I mean? So we kind of know. So far, I don't see anything different from what even Fox has said. 74% Harris in Massachusetts. Bro, I talk to so many people on the daily, and that does not sound right. I mean, there's a lot of lives, but close to 75% weird. Huh. What happened? Why is it
buffering?
I don't know. That's weird.
Well, we're still recording.
Yeah, it's still recording, but is it buffering? Let's see. Let me check it here.
There, it's back.
Oh, okay.
It's
that was
back.
weird.
But
They didn't like what we were saying.
But I mean, just with all that, as far as the different things, and I'm not trying to use this as a scare tactic to go out and run or to go vote, but it should be that, so many people don't know history.
Yeah.
And I've heard recently people go, dude, our government's not going to come out and just like start killing people. You're right. I hope not. But here's the thing. And I Justin's a little, history buff, and we go off on our conversations and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
What people don't understand, and I've said this story to so many people, and they're like, I've never heard that before, that after World War I, the soldiers that were supposed to receive benefits from the federal government after they came back during the Great Depression didn't get benefits.
No.
And so they were petitioning Congress, and they went to go have their congressional meetings, and day 1 and day 2 and day 3 and day 4 and day 5 and day 6, no benefits. It wasn't ruled. They weren't bringing it up, and all this stuff back and forth, all these days that they started gathering all of these veterans, and they actually made cardboard houses to stay there for a minute just to find somewhere to stay. And they didn't have money. They were trying to get money for their family and, keep veterans from all over the country. All the way until the very last day.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
They never voted on it and gave them their benefits. And that night when Congress closed, do you remember who was president, Justin?
At the end of
Was it Taft?
at the end of World War I?
When it happened? I don't.
Click his camera.
I don't remember exactly. Oh, okay. But who was president? But the president, along with the military, killed and burned that village in D.C.
What do you mean?
They massacred the veterans that were out there protesting.
Oh, really?
And they went and burned in the park where they were sitting.
Wow.
They killed, I don't know if it was thousands, but it was hundreds of. So you had
Woodrow
Wilson. You had military killing vets. It's happened already in this country.
Gabriel Teriano says in Venezuela, it only took one last election and they were a done deal.
Yeah. And I just, I just say that just because, guys, we're not trying to fear monger. It's not what we're saying. And I'm not even saying we're at that point.
Not trying to be Tim Cast?
No.
Every week it's revolution.
Yeah, every week. No. But all I'm saying is, guys, if we don't understand, what do they say? If you don't understand history, you'll repeat it.
Yeah.
And we're right there. I had a conversation with a coworker. I'll close this up. A guy I helped lead to the Lord. He's another salesperson on our staff. I know how you feel about salespeople.
Hey, to speak the truth, man.
And so, anyway, so it was Friday of last week. Him and I were talking, and he was like, I hate Trump, because I was like, hey, you gonna vote? Yeah, but I'm not voting for Trump. And I said, why? I'm just curious.
Sorry, dude.
He gave me his reasons why. And I said, okay, well, let me give you some responses here. And he's like, I've never heard that. I said, well, go look it up. I don't know if I told this story already. And so the next day, that was Friday. So Monday, he calls me and goes, hey, dude, I voted. And I was like, cool. He goes, no, I voted for Trump. I said, really?
He was that adamant against it?
Yeah. And then he goes, honestly, I never dug into it to find the answer until you told me what you told me. And he said, I took all weekend and I started watching videos and I started looking at, and he goes, dude, that woman's corrupt. He goes, dude, I can't believe what I was hearing. He goes, I don't know how I'm going to handle it with my son and my wife and how they feel about Trump. But he goes, dude, as a young Christian now, he said, dude, I couldn't vote for her. There's no way. Now knowing what I know. And that, there's a lot of people out there. And I told some coworkers today, I said, dude, you're not my enemy. When this is all over, you're not my enemy.
Absolutely not.
And Trump's not our savior.
Absolutely not.
There's only one savior.
Exactly. Now we are voting our conscience because I do believe I wore this to be fun and I voted for Trump. I do believe that, but he ain't my savior.
No.
And he ain't my hope. And ultimately, with the election, everything else, I'm optimistic. I'm very hopeful in what I think is going to happen and what we can see moving forward. But at the same time, I did fully expect a crazy ride along over the next, few weeks and see. And I know PBD's they're doing an update on their deal.
They are.
He has it as 111.31.
What is it?
PBD has it at 111 Trump, Kamala 31 right now.
So
This
Fox
is live.
just updated. Theirs is 178 to 113.
178.
178 to 113.
So PBD's behind, or what's
No, I don't know who's who. You
They're
know
all
what I mean?
getting their
We don't-
data different ways. See, these are all guesses.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's good. See, NBC right now says
I thought it's actual counts.
No.
NBC is saying
still guessing.
Yeah.
NBC is 154 to 30.
Yeah, Justin, where is that website? What is it? It's just Google? Okay.
So again,
okay.
and Google
And it's
is
Google.
and Google is Kamala's #1 supporter.
Oh,
I don't know if you know that.
Yeah.
But out of everybody, Google, out of everybody who is supporting both sides, Google by far is.
which is interesting. Why it's hard to find the Joe Rogan and Trump interview because
Yeah.
Google owns YouTube.
Right. That's
Yeah.
what PBD actually said that kind of stuff.
So he put it on. So Rogan put it on X and said, for all of you that can't find it, you can find it here.
Find it here. So the thing about it is I obviously. One of the things that I've learned in this is that we need to understand that, that's why I said last week, hey, man, if you want to go vote for her, go vote for her. Be proud of what you get to do. Don't be ashamed of it. You know what I'm saying? In just the realm of, you know what? Like, I'm going to go praise Jesus anywhere, and I'm not going to be ashamed of it. I'm not comparing them to Jesus. I'm just saying, don't be ashamed of what you're allowed. Exactly, man. Own it. You know what I'm saying? Especially these old veteranos and guys our age and up, like, own that stuff, because you had no problem claiming yours at one time, and now all of a sudden you're gonna be all panicked. I'm gonna keep it to myself. Why?
Yeah.
Own what you're doing, dude. Who cares? So my thing is like I've always been open. Like, that's a great thing in our country. We can disagree and we can still be friends.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I don't agree with what you got going on. Hey, you don't agree with what I got going on. That's cool. You wear this, I wear this. Whatever. I'm just sick of all of it. All I'm saying is when you don't vote, like we said last week, it's still a vote. And again, if you vote left, hey, man, you're voting for a lot of stuff that is going to make you upset. If you vote left, that means you like what you're in right now. Poverty, economy low.
But she said turn the page.
Yeah. So
From her own page.
That's all I got. So, I mean, again, like you said, David, and I'll reiterate, is like, hey, if you're still on this West Coast, you got 2 hours, you got an hour and 53 minutes left to go take care of your business.
Especially if you're in Arizona, because that's a swing state.
Yes,
If you are in
very
Arizona
good.
and you're listening to this,
Get out there.
Yeah,
You got
almost
it.
a little less than 2 hours.
Yeah. So get out there, go do it. Aren't they like an hour? No. Oh no, we're at the same time
Yeah,
now,
we're at
right?
the same time, I believe.
Because
Well,
we just
we
No,
fell back.
Actually, they're 1 hour.
They're 1 hour.
So Arizona, you've got 53 minutes.
Yeah, you got 53 minutes because we fell back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They don't change.
They don't change.
They don't change.
So go get it done, man. And, go Trump, go.
Well, all right. My cousin disowned me because I posted a video of Joe Brown calling Kamala.
He did.
So
that was funny.
Yeah,
that was a funny video,
Weird.
too,
This is
man.
weird, though. He disowned you. That's like people that get in fights over football teams. I'm like, dude, you ain't getting paid from the football team.
Funny, not funny.
Like, what are you doing, So, anyways, guys, we want to thank you, and we'll see what's going to happen tomorrow. Well, tonight. Hopefully tonight we'll find out, and it's going to be interesting. But thank you for sitting here with us and joining us. If you want to be a member of this channel, just join us. Be a monthly member of this channel, and you get to post on the comments, on the live comments. So we do this every Tuesday. We call it Let's Just Talk. Every Tuesday at 4:30 for about 90 minutes we go on. And if you're a member of this channel, you can be part of the chat. We're hoping that continues to grow. We want to add some things. As you can tell, we finally have an operator, so we can add little videos and clips and pictures. We are also able to get phone calls. That's something else we want to implement into it.
Yep.
So we want to make this very interactive as we possibly can. But like I said, just join the channel and be a monthly member. Anything else?
Well, I just want Justin. Thank you for
Oh yes,
for
thank you,
jumping on the
Justin.
team.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mijo. I appreciate that.
All right.
And we'll get a camera out there and a microphone, hear your opinions in the future. But at the same time, guys, just before you go to bed, before you look at, I know we're all going to be looking at the polls and all that. Go read your Bible.
Yeah.
Get in your word. Go read Philippians. Go read Colossians. Go read Ephesians, and be inspired and be encouraged. Because no matter what, as far as empty tomb. No matter the outcome, Jesus is king.
That's right.
And that's drop mic moment. That's all that it is. We are voting as American citizens, not because the Bible tells you to. We get to.
Amen.
And because of that, we want to be able to exercise our freedom.
Amen.
And in that freedom, whether it's given or taken, as the old song when we were kids, if he takes my hands, I have my feet. If he takes my feet,
that old song.
I have my mouth. If he takes my mouth, I have my heart. And however order that song that it goes.
Yeah.
And if he takes my heart, then I'm with him.
Yeah.
And so, but I will praise him nonetheless. And so that's guys, just want to be encouraged and be optimistic, be encouraged no matter what, because even if Trump wins, guys, that's still a man.
That's right.
And so let's make sure and keep our eyes, as the writer of Hebrews says, that Jesus is the author and the finisher of our faith.
Amen. So empty tomb, real quick. Can you text me? I just want to make sure. I'm not sure if I have your name on the number, because this guy wants to get a hold of you.
Yes.
Yeah. So make sure you text me, and that way I know. But anyways, guys, God bless you. Thank you so much, and we'll see what kind of world we live in tomorrow. God bless.